What else do we have here? Is there meaning to all the suffering that people are dealing with all around the world? Well, that is a very black and white question. And I will answer that question, but I just want to say that this is clearly a question coming from a person who doesn't feel empowered in relation to much right now. So this is clearly from a person who is predominantly focusing on what is wrong with the world. And I'm not saying don't focus on what's wrong with the world. It's important to focus on what's wrong with the world. I mean, if I wasn't focusing on what I think is wrong with the world, I wouldn't be doing any of this work. So I'm a big fan of knowing what's going on and creating change. But when we are change makers, when we are people who are creating change, we also need to realize that there are things that are good. Because otherwise, if we only pay attention to those things that are wrong, we unknowingly, almost like we program ourselves really only to see the negative. So then when we start to go, oh, there's all this suffering, now you're programming your subconscious to notice the things that are wrong, to notice the suffering in the world. So you need to be super careful because your subconscious is very impressionable. So you need to be really careful about the thoughts that you think consciously, because your subconscious will then, grab a hold of that and continue down that particular rabbit hole. So before I answer this question, I want to say, whoever asked this question, need to focus more on what is right in the world to balance things out so that you don't get paralyzed with the things that are wrong with the world right now. Okay? So is there a meaning to all this suffering that people are dealing with all around the world? Yes, there is. And the meaning is that you will continue to suffer until you find a way to empower yourself. So every piece of suffering is an opportunity to empower yourself. And this is no positive thinking, blah, blah, blah. It's nothing like that. This is an actual fact, because every bad thing that has happened to me in my life, when I was molested as a child, when I was, had a narcissistic father, when I've had the stalker, when I've had PTSD, all of those things have been great points of growth and expansion for me. And I've found meaning in every one of those struggles, every time. You look at people like, if you ever read that book, Man in a Search of Meaning, or Viktor Frankl is the name of the author. He was a doctor in the concentration camps in Germany. And so if you read his work, he will have a similar attitude to this as I do. If you look at a lot of cancer survivors have the same attitude. A lot of people who have suffered greatly in their life said that this is the best thing that happened to them because it brought them where they were going next. Now, if you're not willing to take that suffering and turn that into some kind of a powerful message, then you will be stuck in that space of disempowerment. Absolutely. You will absolutely be stuck in that. So is there meaning? Yes, there is meaning. If you don't see the meaning right now, it doesn't mean that there is no meaning. So how you're feeling is not a fact, and what you're thinking is not a fact. The fact is somewhere between the life that you're living, the fact that the thoughts that you're thinking and the emotions that you're feeling. And if you can just take those things and start exploring and start looking at what's right in those things, you will begin to find the power and the purpose behind the suffering for yourself, and then hopefully teach it to others as well. So that's all we have for today. I hope that was helpful. If that was helpful, leave us a comment. Leave us a little, like or a little yay, whatever comment you feel like leaving us. Thank you so much, and any other feedback that you might have. And also remember to share our content if you find it helpful, because if it was helpful for you, it's likely that it might have been helpful for somebody else as well. So do you know someone who needs a supportive environment? Maybe you're not a part of our Facebook groups anymore, or yet, I should say. Just go on over to Facebook and find us there. We have these amazingly supportive communities that can really make a difference when we're all traveling from one place of personal development to another. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next live Q&A.